For this forum, I thought I would focus on affordable housing. I have come to realize that there are still many people who do not know their options for housing, whether they own a home, rent, or even if they're homeless. I've been working in this field for over 3 years now, and although I do not have all the information, I would like to share the little that I do have and shed some light on this issue. In my last presentation, I spoke about a software platform known as Tableau and some of the benefits of using it, and I also gave a brief demonstration. If you would like to see that, the link is below. My research topic is about affordable housing, what it is, how it started, and where we are at now. I will also be doing a visual presentation in Tableau to give you a better understanding of my findings, as some people are more visual than others. What do we mean by affordable housing? Definition: affordable housing refers to housing units that are affordable by that section of society whose income is below the median household income. Affordable housing becomes a key issue, especially in developing nations where a majority of the population isn't able to buy houses at the market price. Okay, on my screen right here, you are looking at the data that I found. So we have a list of all the states. HCV refers to housing vouchers and the amount of people or participants. And as the list goes on, you'll see we have different categories of people who have received housing vouchers: disabled, seniors, even children. And here you'll see where we have the different Y for low income, seniors who have vouchers, and going and the further and here I also have some information as to the cause of why people would apply for housing, like domestic violence, child separations, abuse, stuff like that. So anyone who has experienced any form of downtime or rough patch in their life, once you fill out an application and you qualify, you automatically can get a housing voucher or get accepted into housing. All right. So, so this is the raw data right here. And at the bottom, you'll see the source came from the HUD website. And this data was gathered in 2015 and also 2016. It also has information for about the homeless because housing also caters for the homeless. All right, so this is the raw data right here. That's one. I also was able to find this rental assistance going to families with children. And this data is from 2004 to 2015. Right here, you'll see how many vouchers were given out within each particular year. And they have the household with kids and how many of them actually share with kids. Because some of them, even though they have kids, they don't necessarily share their vouchers with their kids. And I did a line graph here just to show a timeline as a timeline and just to give a better picture of what all the numbers right here are referring to. All right, so that's my raw data. Now in Tableau, I went to File. After I clicked on File, it says Open. When you open, it gives you a screen. After you get the screen, then you import your data, whether it be Excel or any other form of data platform. My data, I already imported it into Tableau, and this is what it came out looking like, which looks similar to what it looks like in Excel, but Tableau has its own way of reading and interpreting the data. So even though it looks similar, some of the information is usually omitted. All right. For my first graph, I wanted to compare families with children who are receiving housing. Let me close this here. Who are receiving housing. So HCV, as I mentioned before, refers to housing vouchers. And all these colors here represent all the number of vouchers, just like what we saw in Excel. And when you look here, I hover over the little boxes at the top. You'll see the different what's in the different columns and the different rows and what I'm comparing. So I wanted to compare families with children and who have received vouchers and who are getting assistance. And I must tell you, it's a lot of people. And once you highlight each, you'll see the different numbers come up, the households, how many participants, if they actually do have children in the household or not. My next slide was to talk about the homeless. We tend to look past them because they're homeless and they're on the street and they might be dirty. However, so for this, I wanted to compare because we even have children who are also homeless. So I wanted to demonstrate basically how many, not just children, not just adults, but also children who are homeless. Right here, my stats says number of homeless children under 18. This is during the year 2015 to 2016. And so right here, I plugged in, I went here and I hovered over and I looked for the different tabs that I needed. Once I clicked on it, everything came over. As you can see, once you hover, everything comes up. So you choose from the dimensions or the measures which data you want to represent. Dimensions represent that would be like the data, the worded part of your data in a sense, and the measures would be like the numbers. So right here, we'll see I'm comparing adults and children who are homeless who just to show you how many people out there that need help and that are getting the help through affordable housing. Then I wanted to look at the disabled. So I went in and I searched for disabled people who are using vouchers, whether they're adults or kids. And I just went through my data right here. It says disabled people. I double clicked on that. Information came over. And then at the bottom, I looked for percentage recipients or seniors, disabled, or children. So hovering again, and I was able to plug in this right here. Double tap. When you double tap on it, it comes over. Once that happens, once you have the information taken from your dimensions or your measures pulled into your sheet, Tableau has a section here where you can create any graph or chart that you want. And when you hover over them, it tells you what kind of information you need in order to create that particular chart. For the one that I have here, I needed, um, for the one that I have here, I just needed 2 measures. But since I'm speaking about the disabled, I needed to have that also plugged in. And then all I did was highlight it right here, and then I was able to um, my change my quantities and stuff right here. I also wanted to just take a look at all the vouchers throughout the different states and the households. And then I did a chart to focus on seniors who are receiving help. So this chart right here is just for the seniors. Okay, housing itself. So right here is all the housing information. So this basically gives you an overall picture of everyone who is getting help, um, the money that's going to the properties and where they're located. And I also plugged in the income. So just to give an idea of what the margin is and do a comparison. Okay, so this graph right here just basically speaks about those vouchers that are going to be lost if we don't get, if funding is not increased. So basically, guys, um, there are a lot more people out there that need help than there are organizations and funding to cover the amount of people that need help. So this graph right here just talks about the amount of vouchers and lost vouchers and help that has not been able to be extended in certain areas because of funding. So I wanted to do a map to show that, to highlight the different areas and the different states that are in need of more funding in order to help more people. All right. I hope you guys got something from this, and thank you.